Attention, Mountaineer family. The commencement ceremony is about to begin. At this time, please locate the nearest emergency exit. Please silence your cell phones, tablets, and other electronic devices, and turn your attention to the outstanding students who are the focus of this day. This is their moment to shine, so please give them and their many accomplishments your full attention. Now, let's get ready to welcome our graduates.
Today, we celebrate West Virginia University's 2022 May graduates, 152 years after Marmaduke H. Dent became the university's first graduate. Please welcome the candidates for graduation from the West Virginia University Reed College of Media. And now, please welcome members of the Platform Party. Reed College of Media Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs, Gina Martino-Dalia. And program chairs and faculty of the Reed College of Media. Associate Provost for Curriculum and Assessment, Louis Slimak. Ron Nixon, today's commencement speaker and Global Investigations Editor at the Associated Press. Reed College of Media Dean, Diana Martinelli. University Marshal, Jasper Fessman, Reed College of Media Visiting Assistant Professor, carrying the university baton. And Marianne Reed, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Please rise for the singing of our national anthem performed by Christian Klosnitzer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing for the singing of the Alma Mater.
Alma, our alma mater, the home of mountaineers, sing we of thy honor, everlasting through the years. Alma, our alma mater, we pledge in song to you. Hail, all hail our alma mater, West Virginia, you. Thank you.
You may be seated. Please welcome to the podium WVU Reed College of Media Dean Diana Martinelli.
Good morning. What a wonderful, happy day. We welcome our students, your families and friends, our faculty and staff, and a special welcome to our Provost and College of Media faculty member, Marianne Reed, our Associate Provost, Lou Slimak, and our commencement speaker, Ron Nixon. Graduates, we know that today marks a milestone achievement in your lives, but we also know that your families and friends likely played a large role in that achievement. So would the families and friends of our graduates please stand so we can recognize you and your contributions to their success. Graduates, you've spent time with our faculty and classmates, and they have certainly changed you and helped you to grow both personally and professionally. But what you may not realize is that your ideas, your feedback, your energy, your presence have also influenced us, and we will miss you. But we are proud that today you join a network of Reed College of Media alumni who are making a positive difference around the world by helping people make informed decisions, by building a sense of community, by righting wrongs, and identifying possible solutions to society's complex problems. As you leave here today, take comfort in knowing your College of Media educational experience has further fueled and honed your professionalism, curiosity, determination, creativity, work ethic, and intelligence. You've overcome many obstacles to be here, and no doubt you will face many more along your way. But don't let those challenges quell your passion or stop you from remaining curious and brave. Do good work, encourage others, and always demonstrate that media and communications professionals are ethical, credible, and trustworthy. We can't wait to hear of your future successes. Congratulations, class of 2022. And now it is my honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, who is an inspiration and testament to the power of journalism and media. Ron Nixon is Global Investigations Editor at the Associated Press, where he oversees a team of nearly 30 investigative reporters who work around the world. Just last year, he was recognized with the very first News Leader of the Year award. He's led investigations that have won national and international accolades, including the prestigious Selden Ring, as well as awards from the Overseas Press Club, Investigative Reporters and Editors, and the Society of Publishers in Asia. He was part of a team that won a News and Documentary Emmy in collaboration with PBS Frontline in 2020 for an investigation that looked into the record-breaking numbers of migrant children in detention. Prior to joining the Associated Press, Mr. Nixon spent nearly 14 years at the New York Times, where he reported on a variety of topics, including border and aviation security, immigration, cybersecurity, transnational crime, and violent extremism. Well, at the Times, he reported from nearly 24 countries, among them Rwanda, Uganda, Belgium, Canada, Mexico, South Africa, Nigeria, Senegal, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Mozambique, Burundi, Kenya, El Salvador, the United Kingdom, Brazil, Peru, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, just to name a few. He's a co-founder of the Ida B. Wells Society for Investigative Reporting, which is a news trade organization whose mission is to increase the ranks, retention, and profile of investigative reporters and editors of color. He also co-founded TruthBeTold.News, a nonprofit, nonpartisan fact-checking website and digital network, which is run and edited from Howard University's School of Communication. Mr. Nixon authored the book Selling Apartheid, South Africa's Global Propaganda War, and he has taught investigative reporting at the University of the Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, South Africa. He served our country with the Marine Corps Infantry and saw combat in the 1990 Persian Gulf War. He was also part of the U.S. Marine Security Forces Battalion, which is the Corps' security and counterterrorism unit. A native of Lauderdale, Mississippi, Mr. Nixon currently resides near Washington, D.C., and we are so very grateful to have him here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ron Nixon.
Good morning. Okay, you guys can do better than that. You're graduating today. Come on, give it up. Good morning. How are you? Okay. So to Provost Reed, Dean Martinelli, faculty, graduates, it's your day, right? Give it up. Your family and your friends. I'm deeply honored to be here today to address you. I noticed that this has been a long journey, and for some of you, I'm sure that you thought that there were times that this day was never going to come. But here you are. So congratulations to you on your accomplishments. Congratulations to your parents, spouses, children, families, and friends that support you along the way, and pets too, if you want to give them a shout out. So I just want to say a few words, and notice when people say I want to say a few words, it's typically a really long time, but I actually am going to be short. I come to you today as a fellow media professional, because that's what you are as of today. You are a fellow media professional, and I want to talk a little bit about telling the truth, speaking the truth, writing the truth, reporting the truth. We hear a lot today about being in a post-truth era, or truthiness, according to Stephen Colbert, or fake news. But the problem isn't any of this. It's not that we're in a post-truth era, or that there's some type of truthiness, or that there's even fake news. It's what the author John Nesbitt, who wrote the book Megatrends, which, by the way, I never read, but he has a great quote, in that we are drowning in information, but starved for knowledge. And I think that is what's happening in our society today. So much of the information that we get is actually devoid of the truth. Most of it is filtered through the lens of partisanship and mean-spirited trolling that then gets amplified through social platforms like Twitter or Facebook and the likes. And this helps feed this sense of hopelessness that we can't do anything about the problems that we face. And it also erodes the trust that we have in our institutions. There's a remedy for this, and the remedy for this are the people next to you, and it's you. As a great journalist, Ida B. Wells, once said, the way to right wrongs is to shine the light of truth upon them. And that's what your charge is, to shine the light of truth. Whether you're in the field of journalism, whether you're in some form of communications, public diplomacy, public relations, our job as media professionals is to help people with busy lives sort through all of this raw, unfiltered information that we get confronted with every day, and provide them with knowledge, with the truth. So allow me to share two stories that speak to telling the truth and why it matters. Maya Burrell was a young man in Minnesota who was arrested in the early 2000s and sent to prison for life as a teen. He was 16 years old. The police said he shot a little girl while trying to shoot a rival gang member. Mr. Burrell said he was at another location with witnesses that day and that he was not the shooter. But the police in that case weren't looking for the truth. They was looking to confirm the suspicions about the person that they had in custody. So everything that they looked at was to confirm their suspicions, not to seek the truth. My colleagues, Robin McDowell and Reed College grad Margie Mason, took a different path. They read transcripts, they tracked down people who said they were with Mr. Burrell that day, they listened to and reviewed interrogation tapes. In other words, they were in search of the truth no matter where it led. They didn't know if Mr. Burrell was guilty or innocent. They were just searching for the truth. But as a result of their investigation, Mr. Burrell walked out of prison 11 months after we published. The truth in this case was the difference between his freedom and his incarceration. This is why we have to tell the truth as media professionals. But it's not just about journalism. Even though the example that I gave is strictly about investigative reporting, no matter where your career takes you as a media professional, you have to seek the truth no matter where it leads. When I was working on my book about the apartheid government in South Africa, I met this lady who was a corporate communications specialist for Coca-Cola. So I was a little weary because I thought, she was going to tell me all the great things that Coca-Cola did during the apartheid era, that they, didn't really do anything bad, or just to spin me, to tell me Coca-Cola was a great company. So I was prepared for this, but instead, to my surprise, she helped me with all the questions that I had, and she even told me about several documents that I didn't even know about. So I was asking her, because it kind of threw me. So I was like, why are you doing this? This is not what you're supposed to do. This is not what I'm thinking about a corporate communications person is supposed to do. And she said, because these things did happen. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they didn't. That's the truth. There was no spin from her, just the truth. So the truth has no master. The truth doesn't take sides. The truth isn't political. But the truth isn't always pleasant. The truth is simply the truth, no matter where it comes from. We hear, or you may have heard, that our profession is dying, or it doesn't have the impact that it used to, or it doesn't matter what we do. And we hear these predictions almost daily. They're trying to put a nail in our coffin almost daily that the media is just dying. But make no mistake about this. Our profession is a great one. The work that we do as media professionals makes a huge difference. Every day as a media professional, you'll get to learn something new. You'll get to meet and talk to people from all walks of life. You'll get to experience things and travel to places you never dreamed of. And I'm a perfect example of that. As you heard from my bio, I'm from Lauderdale, Mississippi. So I'm a country boy, so let me just tell you a little bit about Lauderdale, Mississippi. Lauderdale, Mississippi is a community of 424 people. Okay, we got 10 people in the census, so 452 people. Hey, growth, right? We'll take it, we'll take it. So you know everybody, we have a dollar store, or as my folks say, the dollar store. We have a rodeo that we're known for, but that's where I'm from. That's who I am. I'm a country boy. But this profession has allowed me to travel around the globe to nearly every continent except Antarctica, and I have no desire to go there. I get to work with people from different cultures, and I get to do work that makes a difference. Yes, the work that we do matters, and it has impact. As media professionals, we get to shape public perceptions. Our work has an impact on public policy, and it helps to right wrongs. But with this great power comes great responsibility, as we learned from watching the Spider-Man movies, right? We shouldn't use our profession and positions to feed into the trolling, the political tribalism, the snarkiness, or the quick, shallow sound bites that pass for truth but are devoid of substance. Let me say that again. What we do matters. Each and every day, the power of the truth gets people out of jail who are wrongfully incarcerated. It spurs government action to clean up the environment. It helps get dangerous products off shelves. It helps people make better decisions about their health. It changes people in ways that you'll never know. Let me be clear though, there will be some days that you will get discouraged sometimes. You'll feel like the work that you're doing isn't having the impact that it should, or that the work is too much, or you may even question whether or not this is a profession for you. When you get moments like this, find yourself your North Star. So the North Star, for history folks, is what the enslaved people from the South looked to find freedom in the North. So for us, the North Star is something that helps guide you out of your sense of despair when you get to these moments. For me, it's this tiny little community called Dry Fork in Virginia, just close to the West Virginia border in southwest Virginia. It's a community that was started by people who were enslaved, who built churches and homes and mills and created a life in this valley. And their ancestors are buried in this place. But that community was in danger of being destroyed by a power line in the early 90s that would have really destroyed its history and its culture. So I was a young reporter at the Roanoke Times, and I wrote about this community, exposing the fact that this power line was going to go directly through the center of it, and the people who did all of these studies, environmental studies, the cultural studies, all of these things, never even knew it was there. So when I did my reporting, it forced the state to come back and order the company to do another route that bypassed the community. So it helped save that community. I can't claim that I saved the community, but it helped save that community. And to this day, whenever I feel despair or down, or the Minnesota Vikings, my team, lose a game, which happens a lot, by the way, this is what I think about as my North Star. So find yourself a North Star when you get to those moments. So let me just wrap up by just emphasizing again that telling the truth also means telling the truth about our industry and our profession. We hear often that we have to restore trust in media. But let's be frank, large segments of our society never had trust in media. The media was used to denigrate them, to perpetuate stereotypes, to paint false narratives about their lives and their cultures. So let's not sugarcoat our past and pretend that there was some utopia where civil discourse and truth reigned. Instead, let's endeavor to create a media future that strives to live up to these lofty goals of giving the public the information that they need to make critical decisions about their lives, and that forces those in power and hold them to account. So let me share some words of wisdom from the great African-American scholar W.B. Du Bois. He says, "Nations reel and stagger on their way. They make hideous mistakes. They commit frightful wrongs. They do good and beautiful things. And shall we not best guide humanity by telling the truth about all of this, so far as the truth is ascertainable?" Finally, let me offer a few words of wisdom that I hope will help you in life. First, remember, it's the little things that matter. Sometimes calling a colleague or a friend just to say hi, just to check in, you don't need anything, goes a long way. You'd be surprised. Secondly, and this is really important, I want you to remember this as media professionals, you are not your job. Your job is what you do, it's not who you are. Third, never compare yourself to others. Run your own race. Fourth, leadership is not about getting people to follow you, it's about getting people to join you. And lastly, and perhaps more importantly, failure is not fatal. Lots of people have failed, from Steve Jobs to my poor Minnesota Vikings. Again, on your special day, I salute you, and I want you to remember this day and look around at the people next to you and your friends and family who are here, and remember what you have accomplished this day. I commend you, and I greet you, as my favorite Star Trek character, Mr. Spock, likes to say, live long and prosper. Give it up, give it up, give it up, there we go. Now, I want you to disregard everything this old dude just said and go out and enjoy yourself. Congratulations. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy a performance of Simple Gifts.
Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, it will be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, it will be in the valley of love and delight.
We now present the students who fulfill the requirements for graduation from the West Virginia University Reed College of Media. Now presenting the candidates for Master of Science in Data Marketing Communications. Brooke Elizabeth Furman. Lee Alice Limerick. Congratulations to the Master of Science in Data Marketing Communications graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Master of Science in Digital Marketing Communications. Temiteo Adesoken. Julia Boyle. Olivia Foden. Kayla Gagnon. Karen Lynn Giordano. Samantha Autumn Hepler. Taylor Hinkle. Jordan Victoria Mason. Michelle Lynn Michaud. Andrea Siders. Shari Stewart. Congratulations to the Master of Science in Digital Marketing Communications graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Master of Science in Integrated Marketing Communications. Carlos Acosta Escudero. Nathan McDowell Banks, Sr. Mike Benning. Caitlin Brady. Katie Broski. Nathaniel Callan. Cody Hamilton Etheridge. Thomas Goss. Shannon Hamblin. Jessica Hinkle. Sandra Kohler. Georgia Caracas. Mike Larman. Timothy Lakeberg. Dennis Lester. Haley Miller. Brittany Murray. TJ Ortega. Devin Alexis Osborne. Carly Pappas Jacobs. Alexis Marie Rogers. Dallas L. Rich. Kalia Shule. Ronnie Sue Snyder. Sarah Jean Spook. Ashley Stibrick. Elizabeth A. Thompson. Adrian Marie Uphold. Ryan Wagner. Madison Mackenzie Ware. Erica Webster. Jesseph Lamar Williams. Congratulations to the Master of Science in Integrated Marketing Communications graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Master of Science in Journalism. Elena Fuller. Holden Edward Strasser. Congratulations to the Master of Science in Journalism graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Interactive Design for Media. Kareem Akremi. Thomas Ambrusico. Kirsten Barrett. Chantil Cash. Catherine Kober. Emma Copley. S.J. Janchka. Drew Mathis. Madison Mills. Joseph Charles Vetta II. Catherine Wiley. Danny Delante. Congratulations to the Bachelor of Arts in Interactive Design for Media graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Multidisciplinary Studies. Tanya Ajali. Cameron Albright. Olivia Banham. Ryan Paul Cook. Sabrina Marie Dahlia, who will be presented by her mother, Associate Dean Gina Martino Dahlia. Bailey Deere. Alexandra Hartley. Jordan Heckert. Haley Brooke McGuire. Nicole Mastros. Jaden McCord. Molly Elizabeth Metz. Catherine Miner. Tatum Solly. Dean Seidneck. Kyra Wright. Congratulations to the Bachelor of Arts in Multidisciplinary Studies graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Science in Journalism, Advertising, and Public Relations. Christian Allison. Chastity S. Anderson. Jenna Ashley. Casey Barrow. Jillian Lee Bartell. Hunter Bennett. Caroline Bond. Megan Ray Buhite. Alexis Faith Cheeseman. Rob Clark. Gavin Curley. Tara Delaney. Jordan Dragon. Kenzie Nicole Dye. Megan Fabianic. Michael Fallon. Michael Gagliardi. Mary Madeline Gould. Cameron Guerin. Kristen Haley. Abigail Rue Hawes. Alexandra Holzclaw. Leslie Mackey James. Thomas Jackson. Rachel Bell Johnson. Madison Brianna Kelbaugh. James Knable. Caitlin Nicole LeMay. John Lennon. Abby Lester. Hannah Lutz. Jarrett Mastro. Tara Renee Mope. Thomas Cole McClanahan. Marley Means. Corbin Cromartie Mills. Brittany Nelson. Samantha Sliger Goodnight. Nellie Parsons. Emily Rodano. Amanda Michelle Ray. Abigail Renee Riggs. Sam Rue. Kristen Brooke Schaefer. Morgan Sherwood. Catherine Stifler. Jordan Robert Stosick. Emily Sunday. Grace Madison Thompson. Tyler Whiteman. Rihanna Christine Weethy. Madison Williamson. Madison Wingate. Peyton Wolf. Congratulations to the Bachelor of Science in Journalism, Advertising, and Public Relations graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Science in Journalism, Quinn Burkett. Crystal Check. Lauren Coleman. Dustin Cawthorn. Harrison Dober. Jarrett Fox. Cameron Gandy. James Lorenzo Gaudio. Delaney Geiger. Olivia Giannatino. Annika Godwin. Sam Gorski. Michaela Gabrielle Heater. Brandy Hernandez. Corey Jacob Jackson. John Edwin Kean. Chase Kelly. Daniel Kuhn. Casey Lettrick. Sierra Litchfield. Julia Maltby. Julia Elizabeth Manley. Alessandra McDaniel. Griffin Danger McMorrow. Seth Mitchell. Olivia Murray. Samuel Adam Myers. Colton Price Fiore. Jessica Lynn Riley. Emily Robinson. Jared Michael Sari. Duncan Slade. Samantha Lee Smith. Chloe Snodgrass. Daniel Woods. Congratulations to the Bachelor of Science in Journalism, journalism graduates of 2022. Now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Science in Journalism, Sports, and Adventure Media. Natalie Barrett. Liam Bellin. Carly Burkhouse. Sarah Maria Lastro Louise Brinsfield. Rachel Davis. Charisse Gabriel. Anthony G. Halkis. Nicole Hirasak. Frank McConnell. Chance Pickens. Sophia Pisano. Seth Robert Seabaugh. Spencer Layton Sheffield. Connor Taylor. Luke Richard Wiggs. Congratulations to the Bachelor of Science in Journalism, Sports, and Adventure Media graduates of 2022. Provost Reed, this concludes the presentation of the candidates for graduation.
Good morning. Will the degree candidates from the Reed College of Media please rise? I am absolutely thrilled to be here today to celebrate West Virginia University's 2020 graduates. What a glorious day. Each of you stands on the cusp of your future and at the beginning of a new journey that will take you farther than you can ever imagine. On this journey, you will face many obstacles, take a number of wrong turns, and have moments of triumph and soaring success. There will be many paths that you can take, but if you use your head and listen to your heart, you will find the path that is right for you. You're probably excited now and maybe a little scared, but don't let the fear of the unknown paralyze you. Get started, get moving, take chances, and if you hit a roadblock, be willing to change course to reach your destination. Be confident in who you are and the strength that lies within. You have already met and overcome so many challenges, including, dare we say, a global pandemic. Your experience these past 2 years has made you resilient and adaptive and strengthened your resolve. You have shown grit in the face of adversity. But I hope that you've also gained empathy, realizing how important it is to be kind to yourself and others who may also be struggling. Life can be hard, but it can also be an absolute joy, especially when you find your purpose, make connection, and open your hearts to others. You already have the grit, but now you also have your degree. Your WVU education will open doors for you and serve as the foundation for your future. Wear the flying WV logo with pride. We are so proud of you and your success. We have enjoyed our time with you, and we will miss you terribly. But remember, no matter how far you roam, you will always have a place at West Virginia University. To repeat the words of your dean, we remain your home among the hills. And now the moment you've been waiting for. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended with all the rights, honors, and privileges associated with it. As West Virginia University's newest graduates, you may now move your tassels to the left side of your cap. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Please remain standing. Graduates, university marshals will release you in an orderly manner after the platform party exits the floor.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Minus lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Missed a taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday, Lord, yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home.